The theme for September is renewal. So everything that we're going to be making is either focused around spiritual renewal or reusing old materials to make new crafts. So the things that you really only need a tutorial for are the paper plate, the 4 strings of yarn, and the bag of yarn that came in your boxes. So for the chalk and the paintbrush that were in your boxes, they are for you to draw pictures or write messages around your neighborhoods. The paintbrush, you can take a cup of water with you and write something about renewal. So Amy, our DRE, put a pamphlet in your boxes with the activities and kind of explaining what to do and some alternative activities. But really with the sponge brushes, you just take a cup of water and you use it like you would a paintbrush, but you do it on your sidewalk, in your driveway, or really anywhere that you can be safe from cars. And with your chalk, you can just go around your neighborhood and draw pictures. You can do the same thing like we did with Summer RE, where you kind of do like a walking meditation. Sam also had a video for those, and you can find a whole bunch of them online. So some of the plates will have 8 punches and some will have 16. I included 4 short strings in every box. So if you have a plate that has 16 punches, you might need to cut a couple extras. But the strings should go from one hole to the hole on the other side, and you just kind of tie them. So you put the short string through the hole, and you just wrap it around the top and tie a knot twice. And then you do it again on the other side. So there's one. And some of them might be a little tight. That's okay. They're not supposed to be loose across the plate, but they're not supposed to be so tight that your plate is starting to curve. And you can ask an older sibling for help, or you can ask an adult for help. And the first one will look like that. Okay, now that you have all the strings tied, they might be a little off in the center, but that's okay. We'll start there when we start weaving. So some of the bags have bigger pieces, like 5 or 6 of bigger pieces of yarn, and some have like little scraps of yarn. That's okay. You can also use yarn that you have at home. You can do the same thing that we did over Summer RE, where you go out and collect natural items, so sticks, twigs, leaves, grass, flowers, stuff like that. You can start weaving your fabric and weave the grass in as you would in the center, just like you would yarn. But you can also use yarn that you have at home, or even like strips of fabric. You can weave in a couple sticks here and there. You can do really whatever you want and decorate it how you want to. So what you're going to do is take whatever yarn you want to start with, and you can start and stop as many times as you want to, but you're going to want to make sure that there's no knot at the beginning of your yarn like there is on mine. So you're just going to want to remove any knots and grab the start of your yarn. And there are 4 on one side and 4 on the other. So what you're going to do is kind of pinch it in the middle, so there's 4 on one side and 4 on the other, and stick the string under so that it goes like this. You see that? And then you're going to tie a knot like you did on the edge of the plate. Tie 2 knots. So there's 1, and there's 2. So then what you're going to start doing is, once you have your yarn gathered up a little bit, you can make it into a ball if it's not already. I'm just gathering mine up. And you're going to start by going over and under. So you're going to go under this one, and over this one, under this one, and over this one. So you go under, over, under, over, under, over, under, and then over. And then you'll be back to where you started, and you just keep going until you have a little bit of a circle. And the next thing I'll show you is how you tie on another string. So when you get however far out you want, and you'll notice that since it has an even number of strings, you'll have some that stay over and some that stay under. But if you want to switch colors, or if you want to keep going over and under, you'll just go under 2 of them, and then you'll start going over and under and over and under again, but it'll switch it up. And then when you get to, however, a foot to 6 inches of string, you'll get your other string, and you'll tie a knot the same way. So it's going to be kind of like tying your shoelaces. So you'll just tie 2 knots, and you can cut off and you pull it just to make sure that it doesn't pull out. And you can cut these off if you want to. You can leave them on. It's really up to you. And then you just keep weaving. So you're going to keep going over and under and over and under until you get all the way out to the edge of the plate. And then you can either make it into a wall hanging. So when you're done with your yarn, I know I still have a lot of plate left, but when you're done with your yarn, you're going to leave a little bit of a tail, and you're just going to tie it around one of these strings. So once again, you're just going to tie 2 knots. There's 1. And there's 2. And you can just tuck it behind so you don't see it. You can glue it down. You can just tuck it behind there. Either way works. If you want this to be like a little format, or if you want to put your chalice on it, or if you want to use it as a coaster, you can. You're going to cut one of these at a time and tie it to the top string that's there after you tie this knot. So you're just going to cut it off, and you're going to tuck it in the string right there. And you can do the same thing where you tie 2 knots. There's 1. And there's 2. And if you don't want to cut it off, you can leave them on here. You can put extra string through 2 and make it into a hanging. But we want to see them, so send us pictures. Send us pictures of what you do outside. Extra crafts. Send us pictures of your chalice. You can send them to me, have your parents send them to me, to the child care coordinator, or you can send them to Miss Amy at the DRE email. You can even send them to Luke or Erica, and we'll get those pictures on Facebook. You can even post them on Facebook. And we just want to show everyone else your pictures.